Welcome to your Saga Oasis. The concept of spirituality has always been something mysterious, especially spiritual aspects of love. Have you ever heard of twin flames? Do you believe that certain people come together due to predestined fate? And do you believe that true lovers will reunite in their next incarnation? Twin flames. In Eastern philosophy, Buddha spoke about karma and destiny as a form of samsara, the continuous cycle of the soul through various lifetimes. According to Buddhist beliefs, humans consist of both body and soul. Upon passing, the body returns to dust, while the soul enters the afterlife, undergoing several judgments of merit and karma. Afterward, the soul reincarnates into another life. Past life connections can manifest as karmic debts or romantic ties from previous lifetimes. Similarly, in Western culture, there is the concept of twin flames, referring to an intense connection between two individuals across one or multiple lifetimes. In movies and literature, we often hear the term past life connection to describe these special relationships. The concept of twin flame originates from ancient Greece, specifically from the allegory Symposium by the renowned philosopher Plato. The story recounts that in ancient times, humans did not have the form they have today. Initially, humans had 4 arms, 4 legs, and a single head with 2 faces. There were 3 genders: male, female, and androgynous. In this form, humans possessed extraordinary strength, intelligence, and talent. Zeus was concerned about the strength of humans, but if he destroyed them, the gods would lose the offerings that people usually presented. Therefore, Zeus came up with a creative solution. He used magic to split humans into 2 halves. This served both as a punishment for human arrogance and doubled the number of people on Earth to increase the offerings. The split beings are what humans look like today. In this new form, humans became much weaker, living in fear and loneliness since they were separated from their other halves. Therefore, throughout their lives, humans have always longed to find their other halves to become whole and strong again. Every person's soul originally possesses an identical twin soul, known as a twin flame. Your twin flame is essentially you. You are them, and they are you. The two share many similarities, from thoughts to interests, and even their emotional expressions are alike. Twin flames connect on all levels, both physical and spiritual. They act as clear mirrors to each other because they often have similar childhood experiences and share physical characteristics. They possess a strong intuition about each other, able to sense whether the other is okay without being physically present. They intuitively know what the other needs without having to say it out loud, a phenomenon often referred to as telepathy. In Audrey Niffenegger's novel, The Time Traveler's Wife, and its film adaptation, you can witness a profound soul connection through the romance between Claire and Henry. Henry is a man with the ability to time travel, and Claire is the woman he first meets when she is only 6 years old. Even though they meet at various other times in their lives, each encounter reinforces their sense of being part of each other. Claire has a deep bond with Henry from her childhood, and it seems as though their souls were connected from the beginning. It's a deeply moving love story that you might want to explore. Have you ever seen a specific object or a shadow of someone and suddenly felt your heart tighten, tears naturally fall, and a very familiar feeling emerge, as though you had met them somewhere before but just couldn't recall where? Moreover, that object or figure might frequently appear in your dreams. Many people say that there's enough to handle in this lifetime without dwelling on past lives. However, Each of us will pass through countless lifetimes, and surely there will be many filled with regrets and mistakes. Eventually, you might realize that all the people you know and feel close to, like parents or siblings, are individuals who have been connected to you for many lifetimes. Some come to love, some to settle debts, and others to teach us painful but necessary lessons in this life. When all these connections come together, they help us become more composed, accepting, and loving. It's not time or geographical distance, but rather birth, death, and rebirth that divide those who share deep spiritual, emotional, or physical connections. However, it is certain that those who loved each other in past lives will reincarnate within the same time frame, time and again, even if they don't remember the events from their previous lives. When they meet in the next life, they will be irresistibly drawn to each other, and the bond of their love will be revived. It's not that you are unloved. It's just that the piece that matches you has not yet appeared. The right person will surely come when the timing is perfect. Perhaps everyone knows someone like this friend who spends all his time thinking about finding a girlfriend, but never meets anyone he really likes. Even his parents are worried, thinking that with his good education, stable job, and decent looks, finding a life partner should not be difficult. Yet he struggles and remains single at 35. Then there's a woman, blessed with stunning beauty but still single. She's nearly 40, and it seems she hasn't found the right person yet. She tried all sorts of rituals to attract love, even traveling to Japan to walk around a cherry tree 3 times in hopes of finding her match. But still, nothing has changed. One day, she met someone online, and after chatting, they felt a strong connection. They decided to meet, and surprisingly, they both found each other just as appealing in person as in their photos. Not long after, they got married. There's a saying, it's fate that makes us family. But in reality, the concept of fate is not easily explained. Some people might express a strong liking for someone and plan to marry them, but it ends up not working out. Meanwhile, others might seem indifferent or uninterested in someone at first, but eventually they end up marrying that very person. Truly, no one can predict what will happen. In Western society, the concept of destiny and connections has been meticulously studied for a long time. Dr. Brian Weiss, a psychiatrist and an expert in therapeutic hypnosis, who is also a renowned American author, has provided deep insights into this aspect. In his famous books, he often describes how 2 strangers, unaware that they have been parts of each other across centuries, are brought together again by fate. He explains how each of us has a missing piece, someone we have loved in a past life, who is currently waiting to reunite with us in this lifetime. This is the story of Elizabeth and Pedro. Elizabeth, a beautiful young woman from the western United States, was deeply traumatized by her mother's death. Emotionally, she faced many challenges and couldn't find true love. She sought the help of Dr. Brian Weiss, who used hypnotic therapy to explore the causes of her emotional turmoil in past lives. During her therapy sessions, a young man named Pedro from Mexico also came to see Dr. Weiss, hoping to heal from the pain of losing a loved one. Both underwent hypnosis and discovered they had lived in ancient Palestine. Elizabeth saw herself as the daughter of a man named Ali, who was dragged by horse-mounted soldiers until he perished, taking his last breath in the arms of his beloved daughter. Pedro, on the other hand, vividly remembered being a man named Ali, dragged brutally by a soldier, with his final gaze falling on his dear daughter. In their next hypnosis session, they inadvertently revisited another past life on the Mongolian grassland. Here, Elizabeth witnessed her people being slaughtered. She was in her tent, waiting for her husband when she was captured by enemies. Pedro discovered that he returned home to find his entire tribe had been harmed, and his young wife was missing from their tent. They have shared deep connections in many past lives, from parent and child, childhood sweethearts to spouses. The only thing is, in this lifetime, up until now, they had never met each other. Only Dr. Weiss knew this after hearing the unbelievable similar stories they recounted during past life regression sessions. He was conflicted, torn between the professional duty to maintain patient confidentiality and the desire to help them recognize each other. So, he intentionally arranged for Elizabeth and Pedro to meet in the waiting room twice, but they only exchanged brief glances and polite greetings without any special connection. However, fate intervened when Pedro's flight was canceled, and he ended up on the same flight as Elizabeth. A year later, they were married. This proves that their connection was not random, but related to many past lives. Whether their relationship in this life is happy or painful, it means both are settling debts with each other and continuing to grow together. And perhaps this is the very reason they could become spouses. Looking at the complex aspect of soul existence and endless reincarnation, many may find it vague and hard to comprehend. However, science and medicine have also provided compelling explanations for these phenomena. Therefore, we should cherish the connections we currently have, as well as those we have had in the past, as they may have traveled through vast expanses of time and space to reach us. It's the end of the video. Thank you for joining us today. And don't miss out on more videos from us by subscribing and turning on the notification bell icon.